What's up? What's up? What's up, sports world? Y'all know what it is, man. It's Wednesday evening, and of course, that means it's world class Wednesdays. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Time out. Time out. Hold up. Hold the phone. Hold a second. First and foremost, there's his face. There's mine. But I see somebody else in here that don't got a face, that's muted, that I know. What's going on here? I feel like am I being bamboozled today? Am I being punked today or something? Is something going on? Something going on you know about? Shout out to Mr. Friday Night Lights itself, Mr. Morning Coffee Talk, Marcus the Alpha Betsy. Y'all already know who I am. I don't need to introduce myself. But there's somebody else in here. There's somebody else. This guy. This guy.
Okay.
This
Okay.
guy has made an
Okay.
opinion. Oh,
What?
look who it
What?
is. Look who it is. Mr. Professional itself, Mr. Businessman
The
itself,
man, the
Mr.
man, the myth, and the
Man, that is
legend.
an exquisite ass
Why I
shirt.
can't hear Dre?
I love the
Dre,
shirt
you on
is
mute or
fly
something?
as hell. It's giving off "Summertime" by Will Smith. Summertime, all that. I mean, it's summertime fly in this joint.
I can't
D
hear
Stanfield's
it.
in the
I can hear
building.
Marcus, but I can't hear Dre.
What's good, D Stanfield? This is hilarious. Look at this guy. Do you see this guy? Do y'all see this guy?
We,
Marcus,
we,
you
we
see this
got we
guy?
got we got an appearance, man. I'm so happy, man. Trying to get this guy on shows nowadays. I know he's a busy man, but anytime we get an opportunity to get him up in here, y'all know we're gonna try to get D Stanfield up in here, man. What's good, family? How you doing, man?
I'm great, man.
Okay, we lost him again. I don't know
Wait,
what's going
he'll
on with
be
his.
back in.
He'll jump back up here. Josh McManus, what's good? How you doing? What's good? What's goody? What's goody? Look, we know tonight we have a look. This is we've been talking about this for weeks, couple of months. We knew it was a collision course. They were on a collision course. The two of the best teams by very different paths. I think Eastern Conference, New York Knicks, have they lost? I think they maybe lost maybe one or two games the entire playoffs on the east side. Spurs involved in a very tough battle in the Western Conference Finals against the defending champions. And man, we're just so happy. We decided to go live uh, and try to get a show done before the game so we can, focus on that and then we'll break it down. But Dre, man, I'm ecstatic for this matchup. Uh, we're looking at old school kind of throwback heavyweight title fight against two worthy opponents. Um, again, Knicks kind of coasted their way through the Eastern Conference, and
He
uh,
said, he
the
said
Spurs.
coasted.
Well, what I mean by that, I don't mean any disrespect for that. What I mean by coasted through is they went, they I look. Let's just keep it a buck, though. Y'all ain't gonna want to hear this. And look, I guess I'll already go ahead and say,
Right. We don't want to hear it. You was all right. I told you do this once a
mm,
show. I swear to
yeah,
God, you do this once a show.
yeah,
And I
It's
made
hmm
it's
sure
more it's,
that
it's
I
more
had
like
it ready
it's
for
more
you.
like three times a show.
Okay. No, no, no,
yeah,
no, no. I know, D. I'm trying to be
mm,
nice and tell him
yeah,
once. Listen,
yeah,
sir, I
mm,
had this strap ready for you today
mm,
because I
mm,
knew you was gonna do exactly what you always do.
mm,
Once a show at least minimum, and three
mm,
times a show at max. Sir, put some
yeah.
respect on the East Coast, sir. Put some respect on my
I
East Coast
respect
right
them.
now.
I respect.
No, put some
There is no.
respect on it.
I
This
respect
ain't Kick
them.
Push Coast. This ain't Lupe Fiasco, sir.
You ain't
This is
you
party like it's
you ain't playing.
1999. You
You
put
ain't
some
playing
respect on my
against.
New York Knicks right now.
I do
Right
respect
now.
them. I
It's
do.
been
I
nothing
am
but belt
respecting
to
them.
ass for
I am
everybody.
respecting them. You ain't playing
Uh-uh.
against. You ain't playing
Coast,
against James Harden. You ain't playing against James Harden no more. You ain't playing against
You
James
want to
Harden no
sit
more.
here and bring
You
this
ain't playing
hot
against
steam?
James
We gonna
Harden no more.
start real
You ain't
combustible
playing
today.
against James Harden.
Devon Stanfield, you might have to play mediator right now. Because if Mark of the Alphabet come on there right now, talking about some, we ain't playing James Harden this series.
You know,
Yo,
you
what?
ain't playing James Harden no
What?
more. You ain't playing
Sir,
James Harden.
sir.
If you expecting me to play mediator, we in a world of trouble.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. My man over here trying to play
Yeah.
us short right now. He's trying to play the East Coast short right now, and I ain't about to let you shorten the East Coast right now. It's go New York, go all day long into
Well,
the fullest. Okay, you
I
gonna
hear
stop
you.
disrespecting
No,
the New
I
York Knicks
respect
right
them.
now.
I
I
respect
don't give
them.
a damn. I don't give a damn who they played, whether it was James Harden, Joel Embiid, the Atlanta Hawks that don't got Trae Young. I don't care. They all NBA pro basketball teams in
Yeah.
which, how about you read what's on the screen? Read that on the screen. Go ahead and read the first sentence. Read the first sentence,
That's it.
Marcus.
That's
Go ahead
it.
and read that.
The Knicks have
I
outscored.
think today we're gonna have
I'll
CSA.
read
You
it
know
for
what
you.
CSA is.
I'll read it for you. I'll read the New York
Come
Knicks
on.
have outscored their cupcake opponents by 19.5 points per game, which means
And right there is where I get to muting Marcus's mic. As soon as he bring that cupcake conversation again, and to this, you ain't gonna mix cupcake and basketball like you do football. You ain't gonna start doing that.
it's
He
a
over here
cupcake too.
trying to mix
It's a cupcake too. Just like when LeBron James was in the Eastern Conference, going to the finals every year against that cupcake ass conference. Okay.
Well, you know what? This is different.
No, it's not. It's the same.
It is.
It's the same.
It's definitely different. I'm gonna tell you why it's different.
Okay, tell me why it's different.
Listen, the Miami Heat ain't did what the Knicks just did. Okay. By the way, they only lost 2 games.
Okay.
Hey, before the Oklahoma City Thunder won next year, before the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA Finals last year, who won the finals before that?
Was it the Celtics? It was the Celtics, right?
And they play in the what conference?
Eastern Conference. But before that, wasn't it the Denver Nuggets with Joker?
Yeah, it was the Denver Nuggets with Joker, the league MVP. I mean,
okay. Yeah, and the 2-time and they just beat the 2-time MVP, the back-to-back MVP. So again, you ain't
no. Whoa. What you not gonna do is you're not gonna tell half stories. What they did was they squeaked past the league MVP, the 2-time league MVP, because the 2-time league MVP didn't have his Robin and J-Dub. If J-Dub is there, they don't even get past 6 games. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it all the way a buck.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about all. But
the one game that J-Dub tried to play, what happened?
He had a decent game.
And I rest my case. They mollywopped their ass.
Yeah.
There's certain things that, and this is not even an indictment on the talent that San Antonio has. This is an indictment on the level of experience that an NBA champion is bridled with coming into games of that magnitude. I mean, we talk about regular season Superman all the time, the James Hardens of the world, the LeBron James of the world in certain cases.
Russell Westbrook.
Wait a minute. Devon, don't be letting Marcus get away with this mess. He talking about cupcake. Really? Marcus, who did they play the first round of the playoffs? Who did San Antonio play the first round of the playoffs?
Who did they play? Was it
Portland?
okay.
The Trailblazers?
It's the opening round.
They played the Trailblazers, sir. You want to talk about cupcake, yet you don't want to mention that they played the Portland Trailblazers.
It's the opening round. You're gonna play. You're playing the worst team in the playoffs. It's the first round of the playoffs. We're talking about your path.
Who did they play the second round?
Well, they played Minnesota, but here's the thing.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. San Antonio had the great fortune of facing what most people would identify as an overachieving Portland Trailblazers team who's still in the process of a mid build. I don't like to call it a rebuild, but they're in the process of a mid build. If you remember, they offloaded Anthony Simons and brought back Dame Lillard and really overperformed this year in spite of all of the gambling issue, the gambling scams that's going on in the background with Chauncey Billups and all that stuff. So they overcame. They overachieved this year to get to wind up playing San Antonio. San Antonio dismantles them. Okay, and San Antonio didn't necessarily run through them. Then they come up on a Minnesota team who we all know Anthony Edwards is hurt, playing through injury. The best player on the court is hurt, playing through injury. So much so that to preserve his career, they take this man out with 8 minutes left, with no intention of putting him back in the game in game 6. So that's one, and then you come up on an Oklahoma City Thunder team who is also debilitated by J-Dub not playing. So when you really when you
got a flopping 2-time MVP,
right? So when you say things like a cupcake walk to the NBA Finals, I want you to keep the same energy with San Antonio, because the two strongest opponents that they saw as weaklings, Anthony Edwards and Jay Dubs. So like all of that plays a part. Like I think they would have got through the Minnesota series with a healthy Ant-Man regardless, because I think Minnesota has been missing a piece. But I think it would have went 7 and not 6. I think they out of here if Oklahoma City is fully healthy. Me personally. Now you look at the Knicks. The Knicks got battle tested in the first round, and then they ran through the rest because that's the momentum that they needed. And if you look back to all the commentary coming into the playoffs, all the commentary was around how the Atlanta Hawks are positioned to beat the Knicks because they match up better. They have the ability to exploit Jalen Brunson at the point guard position with CJ McCollum. Right. And what happened was they did all of that until Mike Brown was smart enough to switch the game plan up. Now, did he orchestrate that himself? We probably will never know that. But the fact of the matter is, once he changed the game plan up and made the offense run through Karl Anthony Towns as opposed to running it through Jalen Brunson, they ran through not just Atlanta, the East. Which if you go back to the playoff strategy, everybody has to be able to switch up to things that you haven't seen in the regular season. We talked about this with Andy Reid. You have to have something in your back pocket that that nobody's seen that you can switch up to, that they don't necessarily have an opportunity to adjust to. And that's what the Knicks did. They probably been holding on to this for quite some time. And then on top of all of this, we finally got the Mikal Bridges that we've been waiting on all fucking season. So when Mikal Bridges and Anunoby are playing like they're supposed to play, and then you got Josh Hart doing what he do, and Karl Anthony Towns ain't settling for that jumper, it's a very difficult team to beat. I don't care if you're in the East or the West.
Okay, I'm joking a little bit. I like to go ahead.
Here's the thing. First and foremost, Devon, number one, they took that personal. That CJ McCollum jump shot, that game winner that he hit. Game 3, they took that very personal just for the
game two he lit Jalen Brunson up.
Right, but just for I'm talking about game 3 when they went up 2-1. It was up 2-1. The reason why they took that serious is because the New York Knicks, obviously, the playoff routes that they've had in past have been highly questionable. And I'm not talking about the short sports show. It's literally been highly questionable. And the expectation is you made the conference final. The expectation this year is you make the conference final. Again, I don't give a damn if Boston, yada, 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 who playing. It didn't matter. They took that personal. They had that conversation, and ever since, they've been wiping teams off the map. Wiping team. I mean, that's unheard of. Just tell me the last time you've seen a team win 11 games in a row in any playoff, in any NBA playoff, by the average of 19 points per game. Tell me the last team that done it. I'll
Probably,
start
probably,
there.
probably that 2000, probably that 2003 Lakers team. I think.
Yeah, you would have to go back. You would have to go back to the Warriors and the Lakers to get that. Michael Jordan didn't do it. LeBron James, Miami Heat didn't do it. And as you stated, Marcus, the cupcake teams that he went against to get. Listen, this ain't Victor Oladipo. He didn't go against Victor Oladipo to get to the conference finals. Okay, he went against James Harden. He went against Spider. He went against Evan Mobley. He went against Jared Allen. He went against Joel Embiid. He went against what's his name? VJ.
Tyrese Maxey.
VJ
Tyrese-
He went
Tyrese Maxey,
yeah, Maxey. They went through
DJ
Maxey.
Edgecombe. I
They
mean,
went through a lot. They went through some players. Now we ain't just gonna sit here and say, "Oh, it's just no." LeBron James, Miami Heat had the cupcake paths. Those were cupcake to me. Joel Embiid. I mean, again, you don't just win games like that, 11 in a row, and you win by 20 plus points. This team is seasoned. It's seasoned. They have a lot of depth. They know they roll. As Devon stated, when Karl Anthony Towns is at his best, this team is at its best. It's not when Jalen Brunson is at his best. It's when Karl Anthony Towns is at his best. And then when you get Mikal Bridges, Mr. I only averaged 10 points, and you actually get him to put up 20 and 22 points a night, this New York Knicks team ain't gonna be something you can just sniff at. I've been watching media pundits all week talking about, will the Knicks even win a game? Excuse me? Will the Knicks even win a game?
That's a little disrespectful.
The Knicks is gonna win. They gonna win a game or two. The last I checked, hold on, watch this. The last I checked, the series was 2-1 Knicks this year, and we all remember when the Spurs won the last game, what Jalen Brunson did in that one. Do you remember? Do anybody remember? He put up 61. They lost in overtime, and your man threw the ball. Victor Wembanyama threw the ball into the crowd instead of giving the ball to Jalen. You don't think they're gonna take that? They're gonna take that serious? You think that ain't gonna come into play? Listen, they're gonna come in with a chip. I think this thing is going 7. Devon Stanfield. I think not only does the NBA need it to go 7, but this is one of those playoff series that people actually want. You ever, I listen, as media pundits, as we all are media pundits here, we've had Super Bowls and finals and Stanley Cups where we was like, damn, this is not what we want. We don't want this. This is not the teams that we wanted to be in here. This is actually one of those finals that we actually wanted. We wanted to watch.
I'm gonna be well. I want to hear what Marcus got to say because I know Marcus wasn't done, and I know he wasn't really intending that there was a cupcake walk. I think he was just riding for Texas in that moment. But I'll let you elaborate on it.
Look, Torch. We've been talking about this. D. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this for months. They've been on a collision course here for the past couple months. We've been talking about this. We've talked about this off the air
since 1999, since the short season.
This is they're built a lot alike when you look at the depth of the team
and the length
when you look at Castle and Vassell, and then the key at Harper. I think Harper could be the X factor in this series because this kid is just
Dylan Harper.
He's nice.
He's tough.
And he reminds me of his daddy coming up. I know a lot of y'all. I don't know if y'all know this. That's Ron Harper's son. They won all them championships with Michael Jordan. 6'6", point guard, bringing the ball. I mean, you talk about the length. This kid
could do everything, and now Dylan can do exactly that. He can do everything.
And he's a rookie. And now I think
A
you're going to
rookie
look
that
at this.
didn't have to go to college and decided to.
Yeah, this is just now. This also brings up the age-old uh, discussion: rust versus rest. I think we also have to take that. The Knicks have been off a week. They've been off a week. A week. Now, I don't know. I think sometimes people like the rest is good, but when you're when you're in a battle like that, is that going to take something out of San Antonio? That was a brutal series, a very brutal series. You're going against the MVP, and and they're the defending champions. There ain't going to be no easy out. So the experience versus these kids who just don't know any better. When I look at the Spurs, what I see, I do a football show. I see a team like the Patriots or the Broncos. They're kids. They don't know any better. They're just kids. They're just out here. They don't know what the hell they're doing. You're like, if they're doing this now, when they don't really know what they're doing, the Drake May and the Travion Henderson or whatnot, that's what I see with these kids here. They're kids. They're like, and they might mess around just off of talent now. And then you got a veteran team like the Knicks. I am so excited for this. I'm so excited. What's the biggest matchup this series to y'all? For me, it's Cat versus women. Yeah, we don't see Torch. We talked about this off the air. Talking about the big men. We haven't really had good big men. Back in the day, 80s and 90s, you had the big men everywhere. And they have a lot of the same skill set. You got 7-footers out here dropping threes from the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Like centers, shooting up threes. So it's for me, I think it's who's going to be that second option. Who's going to be that second option? Is it going to be Ogunjobi? Is it going to be Mikal Bridges? On the Spurs, is it going to be Castle or Vassell? Or will it be Harper, the kid Harper? I think a lot of teams have kind of overlooked him. He's a rookie. He ain't going to do nothing. This kid has been dynamic. So I'm get your popcorn ready. In the words of T.O., man. Go ahead, Torch. I've been talking. Go ahead, Torch. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead. You were doing your thing. I will say this though. Whoever said Cat versus Wemby, I disagree.
Okay.
And I know that's probably gonna be contrary to popular belief.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said no, I disagree with that is because I feel like OG Anunoby is going to be the defense assignment for Wemby. We've watched it where OG Anunoby has definitely got into and gets into Victor Wembanyama when he's on the defensive end. We will not see Karl Anthony Towns on Victor Wembanyama as the main assignment. You will not, because you need Karl Anthony Towns to score. That's not going to happen unless you want Karl Anthony Towns to foul out. That's not happening. So to me, you need to watch Victor Wembanyama versus OG Anunoby. That's what you need to watch. The defensive on that side, but on the other side, you also need to watch Castle versus Jalen Brunson, big body Brunson. That's what you need to watch that right there on the other end. Because
you don't think Fox will be on him?
I can't sit here and pretend like I didn't watch Jalen Brunson drop 61 on you the last time. We're not about to sit here and pretend that a 60-pointer, a point game didn't happen. We're not going to do that. That's number one. Number two, secondly, when it comes to these two teams, there's a lot of people. I felt like this finals exposes a lot of different teams. For one, Champagne on your side, on San Antonio side. Do you know that the Philadelphia 76ers waived Champagne for Max McClung just so he could be in a damn dunk contest? And now he's the guy who hit 6 3-pointers in a game 7 and on to the finals now. So, like when you talk about these moves, young versus old, you got to look at some of these mistakes that's been made. Mike Brown was a coach for Sacramento. They weren't patient enough with Mike Brown. They weren't patient enough. You got some Sacramento Kings players on here, like De'Aaron Fox is San Antonio. That's now in his finals. And you look at these organizations and you scratching your head at this point. Like, what was y'all thinking when y'all made these moves, these crazy, goofy moves? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as I got up right here, I mean, you look at San Antonio, obviously, they've had 6 games where they've beaten teams by 20 or more points. 6 games, obviously. Victor Wembanyama shooting 63.3% true shooting percentage. You got 6 players who are shooting 36% or better on 3-point attempts. Those are things you gotta look out for.
No doubt.
You gotta look out for that stuff. Will the New York Knicks be able to defend the 3? I think that New York plays a defensive style where I don't think that the Spurs will be able to have that many opportunities to go down. In that perspective, you're gonna need Champagne. You're gonna need Harper to play. You're gonna need De'Aaron Fox. I think the entire cavalry will be needed for these two teams. You said rest versus rust.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen where usually the team that has had rest in game 1 has gotten caught. And that's not even just in basketball. This is in hockey. We've seen it. We've seen it in basketball. We've seen it in the WNBA. We've seen it in college softball. If you've had a lot of rest, game 1, depending on who you play, you're going to get caught. You get caught because those teams still have their legs up under them. And then after game 1 is when we see teams that have had rest usually catch that second wind, catch their legs. I mean, we've seen it with the Knicks against Cleveland in game 1, where Cleveland was up a bunch and then had to have that miraculous comeback in game 1 to steal game 1. The Knicks did. Could it happen again? I wouldn't be shocked today. I wouldn't be shocked today if San Antonio, the black and white team, win today. I wouldn't be shocked off of rest and rust alone. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. No doubt. What Miss Tasha Jones, what's goody? Mitchell in the post, OG on the wing. The Villanova 3 got to show up in this area. Gerald Gilliam, he says Wemby versus Karl Anthony Towns. What's the matchup that you're looking for? What are you looking forward to most in this series?
So first of all, whoever's saying Wemby versus Karl Anthony Towns, they must not really watch basketball, and they definitely didn't watch the games that they played during the season. Because if they watched the games that they played during the season, they would know that on defense, Mitchell Robinson is the one that's handling Wemby. It's not typically Karl Anthony Towns, and even when it is, it's a collective effort on those in those instances in which they usually try to force Wemby to be more of a post-up player in those instances, and so that whoever is checking him can confront him, and then their support on the backside. One thing the Knicks do very, very well is that their help defense is outstanding, which is something that I personally feel like they garnered from Tom Thibodeau, even though he's no longer with the team. I mean, Mike Brown has been on his staff on several occasions, including Team USA, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, he's really defensively, he's an extension of that. He's just much, much better in terms of utilizing offensive concepts and not running his starters into the ground. So for those of you who are looking for a one-on-one matchup between Wemby and Karl Anthony Towns from an actual visual aspect, I don't know how often you're going to see that, at least especially from Cat defending him. You may see Wemby defending Cat quite a bit because I think that Wemby is going to take that matchup that the media promoting personally. Yeah. The problem with that is what I don't think Wemby is taking into consideration, which he should because of the second game that they played against each other, is Cat has a lot of grace with his movement as well, and he has the potential to get Wemby in the early foul trouble. And if Wemby gets in the early foul trouble, like when he did in the two games that they lost to OKC, that puts San Antonio in a really bad spot. And so I think Wemby has to be very, very cognizant of how aggressive he wants to be, which if you take into account his youth and how emotional he was at the end of the win over the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think that at least for the first game or two, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him than a person who's been seasoned in this atmosphere. The matchup that I'm most intrigued about, to be perfectly honest with you, is probably more along the lines of two things: the Mikal Bridges and Vassell matchup, because I feel like those two are X factors, and then I also want to see whose bench performs the best in the first couple of games. I think that San Antonio has the more talented bench, but I think that the Knicks have the more consistent bench. And what I mean by consistent is I think that everybody who comes in the game for the Knicks off of the bench, they understand not only their current role, but they understand what's needed from them when they enter the game. I think that because, to your point, Marcus, because of some of the Spurs youth, I think that sometimes they're coming into the game outside of Dylan Harper and maybe Keldon Johnson. Some of the other players that come into the game come in a little bit erratic, which is why, in my opinion, you've seen a lot more usage of Harrison Barnes over this playoff stretch, because he has that championship mentality. He understands what's necessary in these particular situations. So I'm really intrigued by the Mikal Bridges Vassell matchup. If they actually match up, we don't know what Mike Brown is going to do. It's going to be a game of chess, in my opinion. But like we talked about, to your point, Marcus, I always thought that the Spurs would be a better matchup for the Knicks in terms of giving the Knicks a chance to win than I did Oklahoma City. That was before J-Dub went down. Now I don't know how I would have felt, but I always felt like the Spurs, because of their lack of experience, their youth, and the Knicks' ability to get Wemby in the early foul trouble, I think that all those things could work to their advantage. And then the last thing I want to point out is they talked about whether the Knicks could defend the San Antonio three. San Antonio is ranked number 13 in the league in shooting the three, while the Knicks are ranked, I think, number 4 or 5. So you really should be the Knicks are ranked number 3. So you really should be considering whether San Antonio is going to be able to truly defend the New York Knicks' unselfish 3-point game, and more so their transition basketball. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. So Torch, we have the talking about the Wemby and Karl Anthony Towns matchup. For me, I've been very impressed with Castle these playoffs.
Hey man, round of applause for that dude. Castle has been balling the entire playoffs. So him and Dylan Harper have been. Oh my God!
They really. I mean, this guy.
And for Dylan, playing through injury too.
Yeah, diving on the floor for loose balls. Him and Caruso going at it. The last round that was very entertaining. But again, just this is a treat. I think this is a throwback. It's always nice when you have two equally matched opponents. No one likes to see the blowouts. I mean, yeah, you want to win, but what you really want to see is you want to see two equally matched opponents. go at it, and the entertainment factor in it. I'm thrilled, Torch. I'm real D Torch. I am so looking forward to this. I really am.
Well, of course, first and foremost, you looking forward to it because it's a New York versus Texas thing. Let's start there. Number one. Number two, a couple of things that need to be mentioned too that haven't been mentioned is who can move Wemby off his spots. First and foremost, that's something you definitely need to be looking at when you're looking at this game. It will be most important to watch where Wemby catches the basketball, his movements, in fast break transition. Watch how Wemby behaves. It's super important. I like what Castle's been doing. I like what Vessel's been doing. I like what Champagne and them been doing. I like what De'Aaron Fox coming in, being the injured guy, coming in, supporting this team and being that veteran leader. I like what he's done. My only issue with this, though, is when you move Wemby out the paint, that paint is wide open. That paint is wide open for business.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons, legitimately, why OKC stayed around in the series, the last series. I honestly thought that the Spurs should have won that in 6. But because that paint, when you move Wemby out of the paint, it's open for business. That's what you got to watch for. The New York Knicks score a lot of points in the paint. They can get to the paint when they want. They score a lot of points in the paint. The other thing is, we talked about what would have been the better option. Of course, Devon. Of course, the New York Knicks San Antonio series would be better for New York because guess what else? They ain't gonna have to worry about officiating flopping. Because I'm so tired of that. Don't even, I see this little Cheshire Cat smiles. We ain't got to worry about all series long on how we gonna officiate SGA. By the way, we ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about him flopping. Or do you? Well, wait a minute. Or do you? Because I can be a realist here. I'm a realist. I'm going to say something that some people don't like. As much as I like Jalen Brunson knows how to flop too. He's a flopper. He knows how to flop. I don't want to watch a whole series where I got to be like, did he flop or was he fouled? Did he flop or was he fouled? I don't want to have to watch that. I don't want to have to analyze that. I don't want to have to go, let me rewind that to see if he flopped or not. And that's what you would have had to watch all series long. Which one is flopping more, Jalen Brunson or SGA? You'd have had to watch that the whole series. I don't want to watch that. So that's another thing that makes this matchup more intriguing because we get to watch more basketball. And Devon Stanfield, listen, sir, we from the same area. And this is not to disinclude Marcus because Texas, they play basketball in Texas too. Texas ain't just a football. They play basketball too. Okay, they play basketball. I know Kevin Durant, Texas. Okay, so we know that they got some ballers down there. But Devon Stanfield, if I watch these motherfuckers one more time, excuse my French, with this flopping shit, all of a sudden now we playing for fouls. We not playing for shots anymore. I might blow a gasket as someone who loves, plays, coaches the game of basketball. I know you had to be annoyed watching that shit. I know you had to be annoyed, along with the fact that Holmgren was guarding a guard last series. That's a 7-1. A 7-1 guy.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not. I feel like I told Marcus this in private, and Marcus, if I'm lying, call me out on it. But I told Marcus I'm not really mad at the flopping because this is a dissension of Reggie Miller to Manu Ginobili to to
Roddy
to
Divac.
Vlade Divac, to Kevin Durant, to James Harden. This has been going on for quite some time, and now all of a sudden, because it's not a European or American player doing it, because the person's from Canada, Canada, because the person's from Canada, and we got this socio-political movement going on where they want the face of the league to be either from Europe or the US and nowhere else. Now the media is painting this picture as if they want to bring physicality back, when in actuality, if we keeping it a buck, they don't like OKC because they're boring right now. There's not a whole lot of must-see TV with them. So I never had a problem with the flopping because I feel like it's evolved into a part of the game. As a hooper, like you said, Dre, as a hooper, I don't necessarily like it as a hooper. But I'm with Jeff Teague though. I feel like for you to conjure your body in a way in the game where you're playing against the best professionals in the world and be able to garner anywhere between 11 to 20 points a night from the free throw line, from the stripe, where you don't have to work for it. That's a thing of beauty in and of itself, whether we like it or not. So, I mean, I didn't like it when James Harden was doing it, but I could appreciate it. I didn't like it when Reggie Miller was doing it, and Steph Curry been doing it, and nobody got a problem with it. Manu Ginobili was a master of this thing, contorting his body to get the foul and the bucket. He's a master. He was a master of that thing. So I mean, you can't. I didn't have the hatred that other people had towards the flopping. Now there is a flopping. There are flopping instances that I do hate. The Draymond Green version is a perfect example of it, but it doesn't. His version of flopping doesn't contribute to the game. SGA's version of flopping, which is similar to like we said, James Harden and Ginobili, it contributes to the game. And when I say contribute to the game, it contributes to having eyes watching the game, because we know the acrobatics that go into making artistic offensive plays is what makes the NBA intriguing in most cases. And it also stops you from watching other leagues that play basketball. I won't point any fingers in any direction.
As funny as that is,
No, Thomas Nexon is trying to cancel me right now. All I'm saying is the swimsuit edition is where you should live. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't like when they try to cry for fouls.
Oh God!
If you're gonna flop, okay, you're gonna.
Every play, you're looking at the ref. You're looking at the ref like, come on.
Yeah, but you're
You're
crying
like,
for fouls and crying
on,
if you
man.
don't get them. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. I get it, but I understand it too. Especially like when you're accustomed to a certain call, and you're the league MVP. When you're accustomed to certain calls and you're the league MVP, and then the NBA goes out of their way to create a different narrative and call the games in a different way. They're getting that directive directly from the NBA office to call the game differently. And again, I'm not a hater, but
Literally a rule for flopping.
But I also think that we can all agree that we enjoy this brand of physicality. That Spurs Oklahoma City's that game 2 and that game 3, yo, Stephen Castle, you pointed this out, Marcus. We talked about this, bruh. You talking about strapping up, boy? That was a joy to watch, bro. That level of physicality, and then what you didn't see when SGA realized he wasn't getting the calls, he didn't complain. He went right back at them. That's what I like. That's what I like. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So we got a little bit of we already been on for nearly an hour. Other news and notes real quick while I got my guys here. I talked about it. I'm not going to really dive into it too much because I talked about it on Coffee Talk. We saw, just in less than a calendar year, last year we saw Micah Parsons go from the Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. That was huge. You don't usually see all pro type players get moved like that. Torch, your thoughts? We've talked about it offline. Your thoughts on the whole Myles Garrett going from the Browns to the Rams, who were kind of favored. I would love to see where Vegas has him at now. We also saw AJ Brown get moved from the Eagles to the Patriots. Your thoughts on those two moves? There, a little NFL action, little NFL talk. We've been talking about the NBA Finals, but there was some other major news in the NFL. Your thoughts on those two? The move, the trade, Myles Garrett going to the Rams, Jarrett Burse going to the Browns, and AJ Brown moving from the Eagles to the Patriots. Your thoughts on that? How does this affect the AFC East? How does this affect the overall NFL picture? Your thoughts, Torch? Can't hear you, family.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
D Stanfield is back in here. Okay, let me get it back in here. All right.
Okay.
So first and foremost, right off the jump, I definitely thought Myles Garrett should have been on the front cover of Madden 27, by the way. Not no damn Caleb Williams. Don't get me started on that. Okay. Yeah.
Hey there. Hey there. The only thing I wish about that Caleb Williams,
I'm with a Chicago Bears fan and from somebody from Chicago. So that right there, that you just got right there, it's okay. Listen, general public, it's all good. It's all good. Okay.
The only thing that I wish about that Madden cover would have been different is I wish that Caleb would have had one hand up with the ball and the other hand with them fingernails colored up.
Redemption is coming real soon. Don't worry, it's coming real soon. So don't worry about all that. They got their fun for now. You know what they say about the rabbit having a gun? It's all good when the rabbit got the gun until you.
The rabbit won't have the gun in Green Bay until y'all get rid of a certain coach that I won't mention his name.
Matt LeFleur.
Whatever, man. But Myles Garrett should have been on that cover, number one. After that phenomenal season he had, the history-making season that he had, by the way, he should have been on there, number one. Number two, Aaron Donald should come back just off the strength.
Shut up.
Just off the strength.
Shut up.
Just off the strength that your nemesis, when you was playing, your nemesis was Myles Garrett. Your nemesis was Myles Garrett. Now you get the opportunity to play with this guy. If I'm Aaron Donald, I'm coming back. Let's run it. Why not? Let's run it. And listen, I'm a Green Bay fan because I think it's gonna be Packers and Rams anyway in the NFC Championship game. But let's run it. I know you want to shake your head because you want the stars over there. You want those stars to align over there finally for once. You want them to align. I get it, but I think it would be really good for football. It's a good story to see. I mean, Calais Campbell is 40 plus years old, still playing football for meaningless teams. So at 35, Aaron Donald, man, you got it still. There's people still requesting workouts with you. Come back to the NFL. show us a good time. It'll be phenomenal to watch. You know, it's good football, good watch. Come on back. AJ Brown. AJ Brown, I felt like the AJ Brown thing, going to the Patriots, it gives them another dynamic. It should give them another dynamic offensively. But will it give them another dynamic is to be determined. I'll be honest with you, to be determined. I felt like you traded one, you got rid of one prima donna, and you got another prima donna in which AJ Brown. But is AJ Brown the best receiver in that division? Yes, he is the best wide receiver in that division. Point blank period. If you say DJ Moore, I'm getting off. I'm literally gonna get off the show. If you say DJ Moore better than him, getting off. My thing is, it will be very interesting to see what takes place and what will occur as far as how these.
Hey Dre, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Because me and Marcus had this same conversation around the AJ Brown versus DJ Moore and Garrett Wilson conversation about who's the best receiver in the AFC East. And I think we all agree that AJ Brown is the best receiver talent wise. Who's going to be the most productive?
I'm going to tell you who's going to be the most productive. Who's going to be the most productive is going to be Garrett Wilson, because he's going to get. Geno Smith is probably the little bit of time with Aaron Rodgers, but this is probably the best quarterback he's played with his entire professional career. And he's going to be the number one. Now they got other receiving options over there. They made a move, you know, Omar Cooper and Sadiq, but he's the best. Yeah. So I still think it, when you look at Garrett Wilson, because I think he's going to get more targets. I think when you look at the wide receiver cores for the Bills, the wide receiver core for the Patriots, they have some other, you know, you got Matt Collins, you got let's not forget Romeo Doubs, former Packer. He went also. Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, Butte. They got a bunch of mouths to feed over there. And then you still got to worry about Travion Henderson coming out the backfield. So with the Bills, you know, you got DJ Moore now. You have if you get anything from Keon Coleman, Shakir, and Dalton Kincaid, they've got mouths to feed over there. But I think that Garrett Wilson, when we talk about productivity, most of your productivity comes from targets. I believe Garrett Wilson will probably get the most targets out of all of them. So I would probably say, as far as productivity, not skills. I don't want to get it twisted. But productivity and opportunities, I think Garrett Wilson will probably get the most.
Dre?
His mic is off. I think he took off for a minute. So
well, let me say this, Marcus.
Okay.
If somehow the Bills manage to get and I think this is more than feasible. If they get Keon from weeks 1 through 3 of last year, and they are able to sustain that for an entire year, I think they will be in a position to win the AFC East again.
Okay.
I was pretty strong about this during our conversation last week. I am of the mindset that the Patriots' schedule last year was a large part of the reason why they were able to not only semi-dominate the division, but also remain moderately healthy throughout the entire year. There wasn't the heavy rigor on their schedule from both a placement standpoint and a team matchup standpoint. And I think that a lot of times we don't take into account the placement standpoint. how many games you have to play, games you have to play on short rest, on the road, international, things of that nature. We don't take those things into consideration when we evaluate the total landscape of variables that these teams have.
Can we throw expectations in there too? Did we have high expectations for the Patriots last year? Like, if I would have told you last year that the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, you would have laughed in my face.
I would have laughed. I would have laughed in your face. I would have laughed in your face. But if you told me last year that Drake May was gonna win 10 games, I would have. We talked about this. I would have been like, dude, the dude is nice. He's scary. I would not be surprised if they pulled out a 10-game win next year, especially if they draft well, which they did. Defensively, they somehow got better.
Besides Will Campbell. Besides Will Campbell. But yeah. I'm gonna die for my quarterback. You died. and nearly got him killed. And nearly got him killed in the Super Bowl.
And nearly got him killed. You died.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, he wasn't the only one he wasn't the only one that betrayed his best girl. I mean, I gotta be careful.
I think I don't believe that the Patriots are sneaking up on anybody this year. I think this is the point that we're trying to make here. When there's no expectations, no one saw that. Even your diehard Patriots fans, if you ask them and to hook them up to a lie detector machine, even they would say we weren't expecting that. We expected to be a little bit better. Right. We weren't expecting that. We weren't expecting that. So.
But if you lie and say that you didn't see the immense level of accuracy that Drake May possessed in his rookie year, you weren't excited to see what he was going to do the next year, you would be a fool as well. Because I think we all left out of that season going, dang, that dude's really good.
I think they got an upgrade. I think they got to upgrade at the wide receiver position. Bringing back a guy like Matt Collins. Matt Collins is just one of those lunch pail type guys. He's just. I was surprised Buffalo let him walk. Just let him walk out the door.
Did I not clamor about this?
You did. You
when you have a hard time recruiting, and let me say this: when you live in an area that has a difficult time recruiting athletes, I think that it should be the very last resort for you to let athletes walk that are built for that area.
Yeah. If
there's anybody that was built for Buffalo, Matt Collins is Buffalo. Matt Collins is Buffalo.
And he's a character too. He's
a character that doesn't get in no trouble. Zero trouble.
Yeah, coming to the stadium with no shirt on and stuff. Just something. He's one of those kind of guys. He's one of those players. One of those fan favorite types. He's a character like that. And you need a guy like that on your team. You need that Dennis Rodman type spark plug guy that just kind of
whatever we need in whatever moment it is. I'm willing to do it.
No doubt about it. Okay, real quick exercise before we get ready to shut it down here. I wanted to Torch, before we get to that, I real quick I want to talk about the Drake London pickup. If you have a slide for that, Torch. Drake London got paid today or yesterday. I talked about it a little bit. D, you live in Atlanta.
Wasn't it 35.6 a year?
35.2.
35.2.
35.25. 35 and a quarter. 35 and a quarter. He's the third highest paid wide receiver. He falls in behind JSN and Chase. Chase is at 40. And he jumped over Jefferson at 35. So 35 and a quarter. CD's at 34. So Drake London, I talked a little bit about it this morning real quick. I don't view Drake London as that kind of receiver. I think with this contract, you've opened the floodgates Because if I'm Chris Olave, who was in the same draft class as him in the 2022 draft, he's been more productive. Chris Olave has 3 1,000-yard seasons. Drake London has 1,000-yard season, and he's the third highest paid wide receiver in the league now. When you look at some of the other wide receivers that are coming up here in the near future, Puka's going to get paid. The only thing that's holding him up is the off the field antics. Rashee Rice, he maybe George Pickens. After this franchise tag, the floodgates have opened. Your thoughts on Drake London getting paid? E?
You're right when you say that. I live in Atlanta, so I get to see him up close. A lot of the draw and appeal of Drake London is not necessarily seen on the stat sheet. He's one of the better blocking receivers in the league. He's a big body. He's extremely durable, consistent. His hands are excellent. And if we're being honest, you talked about him only having 1,000-yard season, but who's throwing him the football?
Yeah, no doubt.
I think that maybe 35 would have been too much, but I wouldn't have had a problem with 30 for Drake in terms of what he brings to that locker room, what he brings to that team. He brings a pillar of stability. Him and Bijan Robinson are probably the most consistent players that they have. They are the biggest draws that they have, outside of somebody who's really just getting into his probation. So, damn, I gotta be careful. I gotta stop talking out loud. Thinking out loud. That being said, here's my problem with this situation. I don't have a problem with you paying Drake London. What are you gonna do if Kyle Pitts has a better season than he had last year?
Highest paid tight end.
Because Kyle Pitts, and I've been on record, everybody knows, I mess with Kyle Pitts on more levels than one. I'll leave it at that. But I mess with Kyle. I fuck with Kyle Pitts heavy. He found his groove last year in what could have been a contract year. And I personally feel like, and here's the thing, he told me personally coming into last season it was up, like he was going to go off, and man, did he? Like he went off last year. So I mean, like if he has a better year this year than he did last year, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have. I would have either let him walk or I would have paid him early, because if he showed you brought in Tua, so if Tua messes around and becomes a starter, he's only throwing the big bodies. Kyle Pitts is gonna have a field day out there.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do if you're not in playoff contention? You gonna trade him mid-season, or you gonna end up having to pay him?
Now you're talking about a top 3 paid wide receiver, the top paid tight end, and probably the top paid running back. Because I believe when Bijan comes
not to mention, you just took on Tua's contract.
Yeah, so I mean that's where you are. And so there's a lot of motivation there. There is a lot of motivation. Kyle Pitts, what we saw last year from him is what we were expecting all along. This was University of Florida Kyle Pitts, a matchup nightmare, a flex tight end in the slot on the outside, really a big wide receiver. That's what he is. So we'll see how that goes as far as that. Drake London, congratulations to him. I don't view him like that, but I love to see players get paid. And finally, before we get ready to get out here, which NFL head coach will finish with the best record? We got Stefanski. We got John
Wait,
Harbaugh.
before you read through them, is McVay on that list?
McVay is not on that.
Okay,
No,
all right.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
then
yeah.
it's fair. Then it's fair.
Yeah,
If he's not on the
that's
list, it's fair.
fair. That's fair. We got Salah back in the Salah, Jesse Minter, Kubiak. We got some. We got another Lafleur, his brother Lafleur. He's Mike Lafleur, Mike McCarthy, Joe Brady taking over the reins in Buffalo. Who has the best record, D?
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say Jesse Minter with the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I know these are all first year coaches, so I get it. I know what they're trying to do. I think it's gonna be Jesse Minter with the Ravens. Clint Kubiak is dealing with Vegas. I don't think that Cleveland. I think that Cleveland will be in contention for this. They're just playing too tough of a division to be able to capitalize on everything that they've already garnered. Now next year, ooh,
2 first-round picks, by the way. 2 first-round picks.
2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a third.
I don't think they have 2 twos. They got 2 ones, a 2, a 3, 4. They got 3 4s, 2 5s, and 2 7s.
10 picks altogether.
10 picks.
Tripping. Said
That's
Jesse Minter.
I did.
You
I
bugging.
think with the
You don't
Ravens,
believe that yourself. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you believe that. Ain't no way you believe that after what you watched last season. Unless the Baltimore Ravens do something defensively and get that defense together, and until they get Lamar Jackson some real weapons, ain't no way
They
you
did get him
do
some
that.
real. They did get him some real weapons.
I
Real
feel
weapons
like
in who?
I feel like well, hold up, Dre. Let me just get this out really quickly. I feel as though what Kyle Hamilton and some other people alluded to was spot on. That defense is perfectly fine. Like they're elite. They just like Harbaugh ran them into the ground. I think that this year,
don't forget they just got Hendrickson. Don't forget they just got Trey Hendrickson.
I think that I think that the Baltimore Ravens, not that they'll lead the AFC East. I'm just saying I think that he will be that Jesse Minter will be the coach out of all the first year coaches to get to have the best record. That's all I'm saying. Do I think that he will run into some opposition? Yeah, but I think the Ravens are going to be. I think the Ravens are in store for another 12 or 13 win season. I think that his mind and the staff that he's brought in is well equipped to handle whatever is going to be thrown at them this year. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be as strong as they normally are. I think Cleveland is 1 year away, and I think that Cincinnati is all offense and no defense. So I think Jesse Minter has the clear-cut, easiest path to having the best record of all the first year coaches that are in play. I mean, you could throw out Todd Monken, you could throw out Joe Brady, Robert Sutton, yeah, Clint Cooper. Please don't get me started on Stefanski. Ugh, yuck. Disgusting.
I was going to say Stefanski because when you look, I think that the Bucks the Bucks slide back a little bit. And then when you look at that talent, we just talked about Drake London. We got Kyle Pitts, who's going to be highly motivated. Bijan Robinson, who will be highly motivated to be the highest paid running back, and Tua trying to redeem himself. Probably, I think that now what's going to happen with this James Pierce Jr. ordeal? I did a piece on this, whatever, but the Falcons have a good team now. I like what they did, but also I'm with you. I'm with you, D, as far as Jesse Minter, that defense, what they going to go get a true game record like Trey Hendrickson, then going to get a Jacoby Lane. People forget Jacoby Lane. Look, I've never been a big Rashad Bateman fan. That dude is inconsistent as hell. And getting Surratt as well, the kid from Indiana who was incredible in the college football playoffs. Look, that the Ravens, they had a lot of injuries last year. I think the injuries kind of caught up to him. Lamar got banged up a lot. And I think it was time for a new voice to get John Harbaugh out of there. So I really like Stefanski. I like what he did initially with the Browns, and I like Minter. Those would be my two.
What about you, Dre?
I like how you said Trey Henderson. Like I didn't know that was an acquisition for Baltimore.
Now,
Guess what I got to say about that? Ready?
Yeah.
2 words.
Dumpster juice.
Don't care.
Okay.
And the reason why I say don't care is for this reason. It's very simple. Number one, what do you think Pittsburgh is going to do? And I'm just talking about division. We just talk about division. So let's start with the division alone. What do you think? What do you think Pittsburgh is going to do this year?
Nothing.
I don't trust Mike McCarthy.
No. I don't. Let's listen. I didn't even mention his name yet.
Okay.
I just said, What is Pittsburgh going to do?
Pittsburgh's going to do what they've been doing every year. They're going to be right on the cusp. They're going to be right on the cusp.
Offensively,
they'll be all right as long as Rodgers is healthy. They should be all right. I love the addition of Rico Dowdle.
So you're gonna get first down run, second down run, third down pass when necessary. First down run if there's a penalty. If there's a penalty, second down pass, third down pass. Maybe that's what you're gonna get. So when it comes to Trey Henderson, I really don't care when he plays Pittsburgh. I don't really care. Aaron Rodgers already proved last year that he can stand in the pocket with Pittsburgh and not take too many sacks last year. So I kind of don't really care about the Trey Henderson thing when it comes to Pittsburgh. When it comes to Cincinnati, we know what Joe Burrow gonna do. Joe Burrow gonna air you the fuck out if you ain't about your business. Joe Burrow gonna air you out. He don't care. He do not care about taking sacks, none of that. So to me, that's null and void too. I could care less. Cleveland. I don't like their coaching position. I don't like their coach too much because already there's a lot of drama with their coach already. Myles Garrett, part of the reason why Myles Garrett wanted to leave was because of that acquisition right there. So I could care really less about Cleveland. Just hopefully Deshaun Watson could come back into at least 75% of his form when he was in Houston. Because I feel like Cleveland could be up and coming if they make the right moves, So as far as the division is concerned, I really don't care. Baltimore doesn't have a preferably easy schedule this year either. On top of the fact that you're dealing with a brand new coach system, yada yada yada. I don't think it's gonna be him. I don't think that Baltimore with a brand new coach is going to gel just that fast. Everybody thinks, well, we changed the coach. It ain't Harbaugh no more. We changed the coach and we just going to gel. I think a lot of people think that's going to happen with Buffalo too. And I don't see that happening. And I'm just going to be real honest with you. I don't see that happening with Buffalo either. So for those who think that I'm about to pick Joe Brady, you're a damn fool because I'm not. I'm not picking Joe Brady either.
I don't think it's gonna
When I
happen with
look
them.
down the list of these coaches, I look at who's got the most experience. And I hate to say this, but the one with the most experience is Mike McCarthy. And I hate to do that to y'all, but he is. He's the one with the most experience. He's the one that's proven that he doesn't need top five defenses to be successful. Marcus, you should know that very well. Oh, I'm sorry. He ain't like that. I know. Bang bang. Load me up again. Load me up. Load me up. I got plenty of shots. I got plenty of shots to shoot. You should know that. With that being said, I expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to be even better than they was last year. I don't care. You know you're going to say Mike McCarthy. I don't trust him. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. I mean, the question wasn't, do you trust Mike McCarthy? The question was, which new head coach is going to finish with the best record? And my answer is clearly Mike McCarthy. I hate to do it.
If Mike McCarthy and the Pittsburgh Steelers if Mike McCarthy and the Pittsburgh Steelers do not make the playoffs this year, what will be your words?
Here we go, Devon.
And I'm talking about after you and Ramona go and cry over a cigarette.
You know what? Listen, sir. I said Pittsburgh was winning the division last year. It happened, didn't it? Yep, sure did. It happened.
I didn't disagree, but they had Mike Tomlin last year.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, listen. Ain't y'all the same? You know what? Listen, I like Mike Tomlin. I think Mike. I was almost about to say Mike Ramona. Listen, I love Mike Tomlin to death. But ain't y'all the same ones that said, oh, Mike Tomlin is the coach that gets you 9 to 10 wins a year, and that's it.
I never said that. I never said that. That bleeds of a Marcus the Alphabets comment. I never say that.
I ain't even had to say no names, and already you knew right off the jump. Listen, Mike McCarthy is not going. They not. By the show of hands, general public, if you think Pittsburgh is going 10-7 this year, by the show of hands,
they probably will go. They probably
remember last year they was 10-3 before that whole meltdown, before the 4-game losing streak that they took. By the way, they lost 4 straight going into the playoffs. Let's not forget that. They are not doing that. Mike McCarthy is an offensive mastermind. Let's stop doing that now. Stop acting like we don't know this. You know Mike McCarthy is going to have that offense ready to roll. You got 2 tight ends, not just one. You got 2 running backs, not just one. You got 2 receivers, not just one. And you think Mike McCarthy somehow is not going to go to work? He's shown he can go to work. He's shown this.
What's crazy about this is the first Pittsburgh Steelers hire that I've ever seen where I feel the organization has no intentions on retaining this person for a long period of time.
Oh no, there's no way. They've had 3 coaches in 60 years.
Say that one more time, Devon.
I said this is the first time in my cognizant of observation of the NFL in which I have seen the Pittsburgh Steelers have a head coaching hire where they clearly have no intention of keeping that person around long term.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that.
Whoever they have in mind was not available when they had to make this selection. And so they went with the lesser of 2 evils, which is the person that they could use to lure Aaron Rodgers in for 1 more year until they could get who they actually wanted.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a very bold prediction. I'm gonna step out on a limb.
Oh God.
The next,
this is about to be bad.
After Mike Tomlin, after Mike McCarthy, who's from Pittsburgh, by the way. That was another determining factor for him
Knew
getting
you
the
was gonna
job.
say this. This was Marcus. Me and you was on the same page. We were on the same wavelength of thought,
Yeah.
train of thought. I knew that. That's why I was
Yeah.
about to say. So who you think is next in line? Go ahead and say his name. Say it. Go ahead, Devon. Say his name.
After
He better not say it. I'm stabbing myself with this plastic fork if he says it.
after Mike McCarthy gets fired, the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers will be Sean McDermott.
Thank you.
I just drew blood. I just drew blood.
He'll be the
I
next
just
head coach.
I just drew blood. I just drew blood and I'm licking it like a vampire. I knew he was gonna say it. I knew it.
He will be the next head coach. He'll be the next head coach of
When did you just say it?
the two coaches who will be the two it guys in the next coaching cycle will be Mike Tomlin and Sean McDermott. They're going to be the two it guys. Mike Tomlin's not coming back, at least to the Steelers. So who does that leave? Sean McDermott. You have a guy who's still fairly young. He's still fairly young. He's battle tested, won a whole bunch of games, the second winningest coach in Buffalo Bills history. He will be the next head coach of the.
Marcus, guess what? You know
up?
how you went out on a whim? You know how you just went out on a whim and said that? Because we both already knew that. We knew that was coming.
Yeah.
You know who should have been Buffalo's next head coach?
Oh, I want to hear this. Oh, I want to hear this.
Should have been Buffalo's next coach.
Oh, I want to hear this. Oh, wait. Dre, before you say it, let me grab some lotion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead and say it. Say it. I want to hear this.
Marcus, who you think I was about to say?
I'm curious. I'm really curious who should have been the next.
To me, it should have been Joe Brady.
Who should it have been, Dre? Come on, man. I got all this. I got all this sultry cream in my hands. Come on.
Who'd you want, Jim Leonard? Jim Leonard or Kubiak?
You about to say Mike Tomlin?
It should have been Mike Tomlin. You fool.
Oh, I just came on myself.
What you see? Here's the thing, though. It was never going to be Mike Tomlin. The thing that hurts Mike Tomlin is that he's still under contract with the Steelers.
No, the thing that hurts Mike Tomlin, the thing that hurts Mike Tomlin is unlike Sammy Sosa and Michael Jackson, he didn't remove the thing that could make him a head coach in Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Hey, what is that, Devon? Go ahead. What is that, Devon? What are you alluding to, Devon?
It's called called
pigmentation.
Melanin.
Pigmentation.
Melanin. Exactly. He removed that melanin. That's
the only melanated head coach that we had in Buffalo was in interim status, and they got rid of him. And his name is Anthony Lynn, and he got up out of there real quick.
Mistake.
Yeah.
And I think that was a mistake. But then again, no comments. No comment to the two melanated coaches that they actually interviewed. They actually interviewed.
And the really good defensive court and the really good defensive coordinator
the person
that fell on the sword for the team.
The person that should have been the Buffalo Bills coach. Let me rephrase, because I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what's going on. From a spectator standpoint, the person that I would have most desired to have as the Buffalo Bills coach it's between one of three people. Those people is Jim Schwartz, Clint Kubiak, or Brian Flores. That's it. No one else.
And Brian Flores is never going to get a head coaching job. He just got permission to go forward with his case. He will never. Oh,
and he filed another last night.
Yeah,
he filed another injunction last night.
Yeah, he's never going to be a head coach. He's going to be a lifetime defensive coordinator. But everybody, we got to get ready to get up out of here. NBA Finals popping up here.
About the Rocket, San Antonio
We-
about the Rocket.
We appreciate everybody that comes through and supports us. Shout out to my guy D Stanfield, a professional. Any chance that I get it to work with him, me and Dre, we try to do this every week. It will start being a little bit, this is kind of the for sports. Basketball is about to be over. Hockey's already over. We're right in the middle of baseball season. We got less than 100 days until NFL pops off, but we'll be here. And anytime we can get D Stanfield on here with us, we're gonna try to do that.
You have to excuse me, but I've been sick the last 2 days, so I probably would have popped in last night, but with me being sick, it's just
it's all good, man. We'll take what we can get. But hope y'all enjoy the
one last thing in the name of New York sports. By the way, and say this, and Marcus, I know you about to give me that face, because you don't do that hockey. You don't do that hockey at all. That ain't you. But I will tell you right now, I just got this news 5 minutes ago that Tampa Bay Lightning's head coach got Coach of the Year this year in the NHL. That is an absolute travesty. That is a criminal act punishable by any court, supreme, civil. That is punishable. Ain't no way in hell Lindy Ruff is not Coach of the Year this year. There is no way in hell after what you just seen happen in Buffalo.
Dre.
No way in hell. I don't want to hear
you might
no
end up,
excuses.
you might end up having the
Buffalo bias.
No. What you might get Mike Brown to be the basketball coach.
You know what? You can stop all this nonsense with Mike Brown, because after he spank your damn San Antonio Spurs, you ain't gonna have nothing else to say about Mike Brown, okay? You don't stop fronting on New York. I see you ain't putting no respect on New York's name.
I do. Look.
We're gonna give you the
I
liberty.
understand this is gonna be a 7-game series. Knock them out, drag them series. That's what I'm expecting. 7 games. Maybe San Antonio can keep home, because they do have home court advantage. I'm sure New York would love to split this, this trip to San Antonio. So we'll see what happens. We'll probably be about game 4 by this time next week. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll talk about it. And then make sure y'all tune in. Rise Up Late Night, Monday Night Madness on Monday night. They'll be talking some NBA over there. And I'll be around Coffee Talk at least twice a week. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Rise Up family page and the channel on YouTube, Alphabets Football Show, Facebook and YouTube. And follow me at Marcus the Alphabets on TikTok. Shout out to my guy Dwayne Woodley for all the work he does for the Reels. Okay, y'all have a great one. Much love, much respect to everybody. Always love the support and just people coming through. Disagree is not disrespect. Okay, we can still disagree and fight vehemently and come together. Have great sports talk. Okay, y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all next time. All right.
Hey, shout out to the Dallas Wings, because that's what Marcus gonna have to be rooting for next to win a championship after his Spurs don't win. He gonna have to hope Paige Beckers can get it done. They out there balling. The Dallas Wings out there balling.
Hey Marcus.
Yeah.
Absolutely any chance for Seattle to repeat this year?
No. You see how fast I say that?
No.
You want me to say it in Spanish too? I'll say it in Spanish too. No. I'll say it in Russian. Yet. I'll say it in French. Non. No. Y'all have a good one, man.